It's time they know the truth. About what? The truth about Pinkie Pie. I'm Sawtooth Waves, signing out until next Friday. Brohoof! We meet again, Prime. What? Sign? Have you finally decided to get revenge on me for abandoning you at the mirror pool? We both know I'm above that. Quite the contrary, I've come to enlighten you. Oh? Yes, Pinkie Pie has secretly been dead for years. This should be good. It all comes down to one suspicious line of dialogue. When Starlight was showing Sunburst the sights of Ponyville, she took him to the mirror pool. Looking into the pool, Sunburst queried, and I quote, "So Pinkie Pie just dove in and made copies of herself?" To which Starlight replied, and I quote, However, this simply cannot be the case. Observe the cloning in action. As you can see, the originals never enter the pool. They merely pull their clones out of it. Pinkie Prime, the one that started it all, ne'er even touched the water. Yeah, she did. I distinctly remember seeing her go in. Ha! A common misconception. Watch closely, and do pay attention this time. As Pinkie recites the rhyme, we switch to her reflection's perspective. After stepping through the surface, the reflection runs off carelessly looking for fun, while the Pinkie that stood outside the pool continues talking as before. It is indeed the clones that step through the pool, not the originals. Do you know what this means, Prime? That you take these things too seriously? Precisely. No! It means the original Pinkie is gone, and the Pinkie that survived Twilight's massacre was one of the clones. I don't follow. It seems I'll have to simplify my language for an individual of your mental fortitude. We've established that the originals stay on land while the clones pass through the pool. Is this at least a point upon which we can agree? That seems to be the case, yeah. So why then does Sunburst tell of Pinkie diving in? The Pinkies were the only ones present when the cloning took place. Therefore, the story of what happened must have come from one of them, which means... It appears I'll need some help here. Cosine? No, Celestia, there's two of you. Meet my assistant, Cosine Waves. The pleasure's mine, I'm sure. And you're both British. Wait, I thought you were against making clones. Oh, but one must be responsible about it, Prime. I may be a clone of you, but Cosine here is a clone of moi. That's right. What kind of a name is Cosine anyway? Or would you rather me call them Square Waves? Or Triangle Wave? Okay, good point. Let's not go on a tangent here, Prime. I'm trying to prove to you that the Pinkie we knew is history, and the Pinkie we know is one of us, a clone. Good luck with that. Now, let's say I'm the original Pinkie Pie, and Cosine here is one of Pinkie's clones. Quite. If the original Pinkie truly survived, as every creature seems to believe, how would she tell the story? Ask me how the cloning happened. How did the cloning happen? Glad you asked. I pulled my reflection out of the pool, of course. Now, if Pinkie's clone survived, how would she tell the story? Go ahead, ask Cosine how the cloning happened. How did the cloning happen? I dove into the pool, of course, and this right and honorable gentleman pulled me out the other side. And according to Sunburst, that's exactly what Pinkie did. Do you see now? The original Pinkie never once touched the pool, which means the established story didn't come from the original Pinkie. It was told from a clone's perspective, which means that the Pinkie that survived to tell it was herself a clone. Yes. All this time, one of the most powerful ponies in Equestria has been one of us. We have representation in the highest levels of government, and no pony realizes it. That will be all, Cosine. You are dismissed. Right. Cheerio, mate. Okay, a few ponies have been sloppy with the wordage. So what? It's well established that clones don't have the original's memories. Pinkie had to teach the other clones her friends' names for Celestia's sake. And yet, the Pinkie that survived was able to reminisce on parties she threw long before the cloning incident. So she couldn't have been a clone. End of story. Not necessarily. This could be the case of temporary amnesia. Perhaps after some time, all of her memories came back. Do you have any memories from my life? Not yet, but in time we'll see what— That's what I thought. Or perhaps only one Pinkie at a time can contain memories. So when the original Pinkie was extinguished, all of her memories went into that surviving clone. Or just maybe the original Pinkie survived. You're grasping at straws here. There was a test to filter out the clones after all. But was it a good test, Prime? Watching paint dry? Killing any Pinkie that gets distracted? Is it not in Pinkie's nature to be easily distracted during important moments, even when much is on the line, especially when much is on the line. Twilight was basically forcing a group of ponies with ADHD to sit still lest they perish. 'Twas barbaric, no better than a saw game. No pun intended. I get your point. Given enough time, I don't think any Pinkie could survive that. Precisely. It's only a matter of who survives the longest. And this doesn't just test for will to live, nay, other factors must be taken into account, such as proximity to any given distraction, personal moments of weakness. Clearly, all the clones wanted to live, and that's why many made it so far into the test despite all odds, only to fall short near the end. And it's not inconceivable that the original Pinkie would be of those to succumb to our very nature. Indeed, this is confirmed to be the case, as Sunburst told the story from a clone's perspective, a story that only could have come from the surviving Pinkie. Though the death of the original Pinkie is regrettable, we must celebrate the clone that lives on, as well as mourn the clones that weren't so fortunate. I'm still not convinced. Sunburst could have just got it backwards and Starlight not know any better to correct him. But even if you're right, what difference does it make? Pinkie seems to be Pinkie regardless. Both outcomes are functionally the same. Here's the difference, Prime. Twilight Sparkle faced no consequences for the death of the clones. But if she was found guilty of the original Pinkie's death, she would finally face the sentence she deserves. That's actually brilliant. I knew you'd see the light, Prime. All we need is for the surviving Pinkie to testify on her experience and whether she was pulled out of the pool. A single yes would drag Twilight's perfect reputation into the ground. No more Purple Pony Princess. And that's just the beginning. Bringing the clone massacre into the public eye will raise awareness of clones' rights, and we may yet become a protected category. I trust you support my cause. You know what? I guess I do. Excellent. I'm glad we at last share the same vision, Prime. Perhaps you aren't as dim-witted as the others say. Thanks. Wait a second. Now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me, there's much work to be done. Au revoir, Prime. I look forward to our next chat. There never was a next chat. Was that a chicken? I was a statue for the rest of sines and cosines' lives. But I've been looking around, and I think they did alright without me. If I'm not mistaken, they stopped using my Earth Pony look and started living as out-and-out changelings. And clones, of course. They went on to build and maintain the greatest trans-equestrian station of that time, where statues dedicated to them stand to this day. So I guess we all became statues. It doesn't seem they were able to take Twilight down, though in hindsight, maybe that's for the better. But what do you think? Was Sign right about our Pinkie being a clone? Why or why not? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you want to support this channel financially, check out my perks at patreon.com/sawtoothwaves. And thank you so much to everyone who already has, especially my Alicorn tier patrons. The Nameless One, Equinox3141, Cameo Shadowness, Darth Sylar 12, Solar Scripture, Petrolhead02, Cyanax, Princess Starglow, Grim Eclipse, Torn, Color Shine, and this video's Alicorn of the Week, Crimson Moon. Congrats, and thanks again for everyone's support. Y'all help make this channel possible. I'm Sawtooth Waves signing out until Friday after next. Brohoo!